Hey everyone, how are you? Just getting myself sorted here with my laptop. Let me know where you're tuning in from as you jump in on the live. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to comment the word replay and you will have a chance of winning some stencil prizes here today. If you're new here to Essential Stencil, I'm Sharon from the blog I Restore Stuff. You can see that up here. And you can use my code I Restore Stuff for any of the stencil products that you see today. And you can get 10% off. So there's my code there. And sprinkle the love. We'd love you to share this live demo with anyone else that you know who would appreciate watching DIYs and all of that kind of thing. Hi Brenda, hi Wendy, hi Nancy, how are you all? Just going to try and see if I can find my comments on here so I can look at that. Sometimes it helps to see those coming down the side, but it's not going to let me today. Let me see. I can see them on my phone. That's unusual. It's usually... Oh, yeah, there we go. Thanks, Dominica. All right. Oh, guys, you're going to make me cry. Yeah, so we've had a rough couple of weeks. And actually, it did happen before my live last week. It was Tuesday, and then I went live on Thursday. Well, Tuesday our time. Thursday was at my live. And last week, I think I was just in this mode of like, just keep going, just keep going. But anyway, yes, for those of you who didn't hear, my husband's business was located in a warehouse that had a massive fire. He lost all of his business assets, and so we've had a really tough time trying to process that, deal with that. But I think the most heartbreaking thing for us was that there were a lot of firefighters on site, but one firefighter lost their life in trying to save the blaze. And very bravely, first responders fight our fires and things like that. And so I think that has been the most emotional part of this whole journey. But I just want to thank you guys because so many of you have reached out on my own personal page and in our Stencil of the Month Club group and offered your prayers of love and support, and we just really thank you at this time. It is tough. Lots of people go through tough things, and yeah, it's kind of huge. We've been like this on a little roller coaster, but I want to thank you so much, guys, for all of your prayers and your love. So yeah, thank you so much. You can see a little bit more about that on my I Restore Stuff page if you go there. I put a post up there if you're wondering what that's about. So, but I want to get into the happy mode and start on our project today. And a lot of times, if you know me, I come on going, you know, the night before, I'm literally trying to think of a project to do or a stenciling craft to do. I'm using a signboard today that I have pre-painted already in Fusion's Midnight Blue. I don't know if you can tell. It's a really, really deep navy blue. It's not black, but it looks very, very dark. It's called Midnight Blue by Fusion Mineral Paint. And if you like the Fusion Mineral Paint furniture paint, you can use my affiliate link. If you need that, we can pop that in the comments for you. But that's Fusion's Midnight Blue. And the board is approximately, I tried to make it the size of a 12 by 16 stencil, but it's not quite that. It's probably more like 10 this way, 10 or 11 inches this way, 16 across. So today, if you're following, thank you so much, you lovely people. There's my code. You can save 10%. How were you going with the challenge? I think the Essential Stencil and Totally Dazzled Challenge, the entry date is finished. We're now up to the voting stage. So if you haven't already, go find the link right here on Essential Stencils page for voting for your favorite craft project that was done for the challenge. And the lucky winners will receive shopping sprees, which will be so much fun. Okay, I've got an Easter sign here, but I'm not going to use it for Easter because Easter is already gone. We know that. But this one, I love to sometimes look at the sale section on Essential Stencils page, essentialstencil.com, and you'll see that this one is actually on sale 20% off, I think it is. And then if you use my code, I believe that you'll save even more if you put my code I Restore Stuff in at the checkout. This is called Cottontail Farms. So for all of the stencil sets, and I'm going to be using the new transfers today too. So for all of those, you'll see I've written the names of them. Just use my link that's in the description of the live, and you'll see the names of all the different sets. I'm going to combine it with this one as well, which is, it's called Open Book with Flowers. This would make a beautiful Mother's Day type project too. That is coming up this Sunday. Are we at the same? Yes, I get confused. In Australia, we have the same Mother's Day as you guys, but we have a different Father's Day. So your Father's Day is June, ours is in September. So that's one that is different for us. But our Mother's Day is the same this Sunday. Looking forward to that. And then I'm going to be using this pack. It's called It Is Finished. Again, that usually is with the Easter collection, but I'm just going to combine all of these stencils today and come up with something fun, as well as the brand new transfers. So these are the Rustic Summer Flowers transfers, and they come with two sheets of transfers. So I'll be looking at those today. I've put some little cut marks where I'm going to be cutting to remind me which flowers I want to use for my project today. But they also have bees on them. So they've got sunflowers, peonies. Oh, I shouldn't start naming all the flowers because I don't even know. Daisies, I think. But they've got some gorgeous honeybees, and also these. What are these flowers called? Someone will let me know in the comments. Those transfers of these little flowers here. They look like little balls of pollen. I don't know. And then we've got some beautiful leaves here as well. So yeah, so we'll be using those. Usually I'll put the transfers on last. So I think that is the way we'll go today. So I'm going to combine all these things. So this morning I was literally trying to think, what am I going to do? I've got a board prepped. I can use that board. And so I have come up with something as I saw this stencil that was on sale, this stencil set. I thought, I love the frames around this. So I'm going to be using that frames today using this stencil. So it comes in a 2-pack set. So even if you buy this for next Easter, because it's on sale right now, but you can use the frames for almost any project. So this stencil fits fairly neatly on my board. I could stretch it out, but I may just leave it like it is because I'll probably have a little bit more of a gap on this side than I will on these sides up here. So yeah, that's what we'll do with that today. We're going to be using some border and some of the actual stencil itself. And you'll see, I want to keep some of it a secret and a surprise, so you'll just have to follow along and watch what we're doing today. So that is now these are all in the links in the description of the live. It's called Cottontail Farms, 2-pack set, usually for Easter, but it's on sale this week or today or while stocks last. Then we're going to add an open book with flowers, and then we're going to add one of the other sets. So you'll have to just see what I do with these. It's called It Is Finished, a 4-pack set, another Easter one. I didn't even look. Yes, I think that one's still available too. Hopefully you won't find any of these things that are out of stock, but let's start with, so I'm going to use a white colour. Oh, I've got metallics out too because I thought metallics would look beautiful too on this. So I might even use some of those metallics for the border, but what I want to do is use a white base. So let me point you down here. Thank you guys so much. You are wonderful. All right. I just love the community we have here. Look, guys, I'm feeling a little emotional just seeing all the beautiful comments and the love coming through from our little circumstances that we've been in this week. Okay, so we've got casement, which is a nice white, and it's running really low. Does anyone else have paint pots that they stencil from, and it's running so low, and that the brush, I don't want to get the brush in there because it gets all over the sides of the brush. So what I will do is I will transfer the dribbles of that down into my jar here. But this is Fusion's white colour called Casement. It's quite a bright white. What you also need when you're stenciling is just a piece of cardboard to offload your paint onto. And I think I will use, yeah, this is just the 5/8 inch brush. The brushes come in a set of four different sizes. So this one's about second to last size there. And those are available also. Oh, are they? I can't remember. But they will let you know when they're back in stock. If they're not there already, you can probably hit a button that says, let me know when these are back in stock. So I'm dipping that in my white paint. I want to offload a bit of the paint onto there. I haven't used any painter's tape to tape this down, but you could. So I want to just make sure that my border, so I'm using the border and some of the words, and some of the things. So let me just show you the border first. And the border is probably what I'll just, I'll do in white, because white is also a good base to use for when you're doing metallics on top. So when you've got these lines here at the side, I just sort of move along those lines. And as I go along here, you probably will get an idea of what I'm doing, but I want to leave some things as a little bit of a mystery. Thank you. Essential Stencil has put the links right there in the comments of our live of all of the products that we're using today, of the stencils and the transfers. So we've got brand new transfers that are available on the website for a beautiful summer rustic flowers collection. Making sure I don't move this. I'm holding down tight with my other hand here. Dipping that into the paint and offloading it so that we don't get bleeding underneath the stencil here, okay? So again, just going across. Hopefully I do remember to put the metallic paint on this. I'll put it over here. So I'm going to be using this vintage gold over the top. I do also have pearl on hand. Now those are both Fusion metallic paints, and you can ask me for the Fusion, for my Fusion affiliate link if you are interested in the Fusion paint. It's specially formulated for furniture, so it does stick to pretty much anything. It's great for signboards and things like that. All right. So this is just a really gorgeous border to use. We're not making an Easter craft today, but I know that it looks like it. But this set is actually on special at the moment on Essential Stencils website. And you can use my code iRestoreStuff for anything on Essential Stencils site and get 10% off. I must say a further 10% off. So if you add this one to your cart, it'll come off at the end of the checkout. Okay, so I'm using that white just for a bit of a base for the background for our metallics, because sometimes those metallics, they might sort of disappear in the background if they or soak into the wood. Now the bits that I will leave standing out, let me see, I just wanted to maybe tape off some that I won't be using, so this will give you a clue. I'm not going to be using the wheelbarrow. I'm not going to put fresh picked carrots. So what I want to do, though, is use these little bits here. So I'm going to tape off the words, okay? And I'll give you a clue for the finished product of my stencil. Hang on, let me see. This is not quite covering that fresh. So I'm going to be using these little frilly bits. This is something, give you a clue, this is something that I have been relying on all my life, but especially in these last couple of weeks. Let's see if that gives you any clues as to where we're going to go with this project. It's an inspirational one. Okay, so I'm going to add, not this, but I want to add these bits, these little lines and the word open. So see, I'm pouncing now. That's because I feel like, oh dear, I've got too much on my brush. So I'm just going to do a little pouncing before I then go ahead and do the squiggling. And I may or may not put the metallic on these parts. I think I might just leave these white. And right now these are probably all dry, this border part here. this bit, let's see, I'll go with the words first. Oh, I nearly got it on the wheelbarrow. I could have taped that there because it's quite close. Now, you can decide once you've finished doing one coat whether it might need a second coat, but I do like to do, I always say this, if you've watched any of our lives before, that it's better to do 2 thin coats rather than do one with too much on your brush and risk the paint bleeding under the stencil and creating fuzzy edges to your stenciling. So let us know if you're brand new here to Essential Stencil Lives. Let us know in the comments. Have you never stenciled before? Let us know that. We'd love to know. All right, I think that's all I was going to do for that. Now, let me just go over now and do the border. So I'm going to pop my brush in a wet cloth, keep it a little bit damp so that it's not going to dry out on me. Then I'm going to use this Fusion's Metallic Vintage Gold to add a little bit of bling to those borders there. Candy's here for the first time. That's awesome. Thanks for letting us know. And has anyone never stenciled before? Oh, hi Evelyn, how are you? Yes, welcome Sherry. Thank you Sandy for welcoming, and everybody's so welcoming. Diane, bleeding is your problem. It's your first time. Yes, so Diane, if it's your first time too, we go over lots of tips here on our lives on how to do the stenciling. See how I'm offloading the paint on my brush onto a piece of cardboard first. This is Fusion's Metallic Vintage Gold. I'm hoping that it stands out against the navy blue background that I've got here. So we've got the white here. Well, that does stand out really beautifully, doesn't it? Oh, now I'm tempted. I don't want to make it too dark, so I'm just going to probably just do a little touch of this vintage gold. See, I've got that white background, and it'll just add a bit of shimmer to these sections here. May not even go all the way around. So the key is, I think it was Diane who was saying that she has a problem with the paint bleeding underneath and getting fuzzy edges on her stencils. So one of the big keys is practicing. So you could practice with your stencil on a piece of cardboard first where it doesn't matter so much. And then, once you're confident with the amount of paint on your brush, then you can go ahead and do it on your real signboard. So I offload the paintbrush as much as I can. I'm just sort of adding a bit of stenciling up here. What I usually do is a swirling method. I'm going to leave those white bits there and just have a peek and see what that looks like with just leaving the white on the inside of the border. Let's have a look. Can you see that there? There we go. Yeah. So it's not too metallic, shimmery looking, but I've just kind of added a touch there. Not sure. Always give it a go, can't we? We can always sand it off and start again, I say. So let's see. A little bit more bling. I feel like if I add just a bit more solid to that metallic colour, it might stand out a bit more that it's metallic. Let's see. Yeah, if you're just starting out stenciling, I recommend practicing on a piece of cardboard. And the key is to offloading as much paint as you can on your brush, and then a bit of a swirling method to kind of blend it all in. I'm just going over these corner parts. I think we'll just leave it at the corners for the metallic part of it anyway. I thought it was a good idea, and yeah, it is turning out nicely, but I do think that it did help to have that white base underneath the metallic, and then that helps to make it stand out more. I'm just going to blend that through to the white borders there. And this side here, this corner. So I'm not doing the whole stencil, so don't you worry about that. We're not going to do the wheelbarrow. We're just adding and blending a whole bunch of stencils together. I love to pick and choose from all the different stencil sets and just create something new. So you can use the stencil as it is, or you can use it like this. And I'm using the border, I'm using this these words here, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Let's have a look. So we've got some metallic shimmer on the background there. We've got the open daily. Oh, look at that. So you can see a little bit of shimmer on that metallic up there. All right, so when I got this stencil out and pulled out the next stencil that I'm going to use, I was just pleasantly surprised and excited about how well they went together. So this is just the Cottontail Easter, what is it called? Cottontail Farms. And then I added this one and I thought, oh my goodness, that sits perfectly right here. Can you tell it's not just a book, it's going to be something else. Can you tell where I'm going now? This is called Open Book with Flowers. Makes a beautiful Bible, don't you think? Open daily. Get it? See where we're going with this? So I am going to, instead of using these flowers here, and so see how the flowers come straight up through here and the book sits perfectly in here. So these just worked great. I was excited when I saw it anyway. So I'm going to put my book down there, which fits perfectly in here, and I'm going to, instead of the flowers that are here on this stencil, I want to use some of the brand new transfers. So I'm going to do that. Let me just pop our stencil aside here, and I'll show you some of the transfers. So instead here, I'm going to tape these off. That's to remind me to tape it off. And I'm going to add some flowers coming out of the book like that. I love the idea of flowers growing from a book because, I mean, you grow when you read things, don't you think? And I'm considering this my Bible, and I want to open it daily, and so of course you're going to grow in your faith walk when you do that. So I'm going to tape this down first of all on the sides so that it doesn't go anywhere. Also, this book comes a little close to that edge. I don't want to get my brush accidentally over there. So then I'm going to tape off the flowers. I might have to use a few bits of tape to cover these up. There we go, there's one. Cover this up here. Oop. And then this one may have to do two for that. So I'm covering up these flowers and I want to replace them with and these make beautiful flowers, by the way. You could do some green there, stencil them yellow, stencil them pink, stencil them whatever colour you like. Okay, so I want to do that white again. And also the other thing I thought of too that you could add to that book, I'll show you that in a minute, my other ideas. Because I come up with some ideas that I may or may not use on the live, but I want to still show them to you because then you might go away and think, oh, I'm going to use that idea online. So we've got our book down here, which I'm calling my Bible. This would make a great Mother's Day sign as well. Do a Happy Mother's Day wording in the book there. And I tossed over whether to add words to my book. I'll show you what my plan is or was and see. Yeah, I think I'd like to do that too. Oh, I just thought of the fact that if I use that this metallic vintage gold again on these book pages, you know how those old Bibles, I don't think they do it as much anymore, but they have the metallic edging on them, don't they? That would be kind of cool. So we'll see if we can get that look. Yeah, I just love the way the book sits perfectly in this frame. And when I saw the words open daily, I'm like, oh, of course, that has to be a Bible. Okay, so we've got our white base, almost. Welcome if you've just joined us. Don't forget, if you are watching the replay, you can comment the word replay for a chance to win some prizes. Otherwise, stay tuned and hang out in the comments here. And if you have any questions about stenciling, or if you're new for the first time, let us know, because our winners at the end of our live are picked from the comment section. So let us know if you have any other great ideas for using this book stencil. What words would you maybe put in the stencil? It could be a Bible verse, or it could be your favourite book, literally. Some kind of literary, someone might have a favourite author, or you could put a Mother's Day message in there, or something like that. Okay. Let's see if we can get metallic. Did you paint the board black, or was it already that colour? No, I painted the board, so it's just a plywood board. You can see the back of it there. I'm just taking this stuff to have a peek. Book is looking great. I think I will add a little bit of metallic, maybe just to those two lines in there. And the colour is actually a really dark navy blue. It's called Midnight Blue by Fusion Mineral Paint. And that is a paint that I love to sell here in Australia, and I use it for all of my furniture painting projects. But it does come from Canada, and they ship it straight to you there in the USA, and I can give you my affiliate link if you need that. Let me know in the comments, and I'll send that in there. The gold on the edge of the Bible pages, yeah. So the reason I can go over this straight away is it's very quick drying. You do probably, I do have my hairdryer on hand if I need to use it. I'm not sure whether to just do those two or go on with a bit more. Probably doesn't matter too much. Make it a little bit more solid looking. Could go over it with a couple of coats to make a really nice solid gold, antique gold. Or you could do that bright yellow gold, rose gold, silver. Silver would look nice too. I do have a pearl metallic here on hand as well. Could be nice. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. We'll just do that. So, popping that aside. Keep the lid on here. Beth, you said you've been wanting to see this stencil being done. Yeah, it is just a really lovely stencil, and today I'm not going to use the flowers that are on the stencil. I'm going to use the transfer flowers instead from the new transfers. But there's also what you could do if you wanted to add something else. There is the cross that you can pop in the middle here. Now this is from the set. I'm not going to use these today, I don't think, because I want to put my flowers there, but you could even put the flowers on top. So there's these floral mini crosses, that's what they're called, floral cross mini tags, and you can pop them right in the center of the Bible. Wouldn't that look great coming out of there? But I'm going to pop my flowers on here first, so stay tuned. There's also this He is Risen tags, which also has a cross with Jesus in the middle of it as well. You know, and you could put the words He is Risen on here, but those two, I'll set those aside, but I just wanted to let you know of that. Don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff and get you 10% off anything at essentialstencil.com. Just a reminder of that. But the set, I wanted to try and use this one today, if I can try and get some words in here. Is the It Is Finished 4-pack set, and it comes with all of these. So it's got He is Risen. Again, it's Easter themed, but you know, you can use some of these for all year round if you want to be inspirational in your stencil signs. It is Finished, His Love Endures Forever, and then For God So Loved the World. Now, I'm not even going to use any of those actual stencils. I want to try and piece together and make some words off there. But let's see if I can do the transfer first, I think, and then I'll put my words in. So out of the two sign transfers, let's see which, I had kind of looked at this before. It is called We've got the links there for you as well. Rustic Summer Flowers, that's what it is. And they've got some gorgeous bumblebees here also. And these little fluffy ball flowers. Did someone write what they're called? I can't remember. I forgot to look. I can't see my the comments that are flowing. Yes, it does look great already, doesn't it? Open daily. We've got the word there, the Bible, and I decided I'd go with this one up here. These flowers. So this is kind of like doing your own little flower arrangement, but with transfers. So we've got that one there from this sheet, and then I think that will fit nicely here, like how it just all comes up here, doesn't go too far over the edge. And then I thought of adding just a few more out this side, because that sits fairly central in there. It may even go over this way a little bit. And I feel like I need 1, 2, and maybe a third flower in here. So let's see. Oh, maybe this one. I think that's the one I had looked at earlier. Good afternoon, Sonia. Thank you for being here, everybody. Okay, so that one might sit just a little bit behind there, and then I thought I could add some of these. Maybe some extra little, I don't know if these are sunflowers or daisies. Maybe they're yellow daisies or something. Oops, I'm being a little awkward there. There we go. And we could sit some of these behind here. Did anyone know a name for those yet? Alan, is that the name of these? I'm trying to look for that. Yes. So we're just going to cut, I'm trying to cut as close as I can to these, and I feel like we can add, it's tricky not being able to, because when this white backing paper comes away, you'll be able to see the backing of it. Oh, we've got some of those already right there. Maybe we'll just add these in. We can add those in. Oh, they're already there as well. That's all right. See if it adds some more to the back here. We've got some more transfers. They'll sit right there. Then we can add some more of these out this way, and then add this on top. And you can layer your transfers just like this, all over your sign, but you've got to get the bottom ones in the right place, in the right position to be able to get it all happening. So let's see how we go here. Oh, that's great, Evelyn. You weren't sure how to use that open book stencil. Yeah, there's so many different ideas that you can use it for. You can actually, I'm using mine for a Bible, but you can use it for all sorts of, you know, in the classroom, for teachers, for reading, like a teacher gift or something like that as well. Okay, let's get started with adding that one in behind there. Pop it up just slightly, a little more. I'm just got to keep going up, down to just kind of make sure it's in the right position. And then I want to add some words in on my actual book. Hopefully is going to fit there also. So let's pop that aside. Got this in around about the place that I want it. Let me put that right here so I know where I'm going to line up my thing with. Now, you can get these from the Essential Stencil website also. I think they come in a set, but or you can use something like a credit card or, you know, a plastic store card, something like that, so that you can rub on your transfer. Oh, someone's mentioning Facebook's doing something. I hope we're still all good. Yes, I can see the viewers. All right, so lifting that up, we're going to take away the paper, white paper backing. And then we've got our flowers with the sticky side down right here. And we're going to rub that on to the surface. And then start to peel it back. We'll rub it all over first and then start to peel it back. We lift up that plastic that's on the top, and of course these stems of these flowers Someone just called them alum, I think. I'd have to look it up. I didn't look it up. Then these will pop out the top behind our other flowers that we're going to put on there. That went on so fabulously easy. Beautiful. Okay, so then we're going to add this one right next to it. Just lining up my flowers all over again. See if I can add these without them all looking. There we go. I think they will go round about there. And I'm just going to set this right here. I'm just lining this up here so that I can see where to put this down. So coming here and removing the backing and then adding this right in here. Oh, I can't remember how far up it was. Let's just say there. That will be fine. Up! Now that I've stuck it down and it's just slightly moved, that's okay because I've stuck down some bits already. We're just going to have to leave it there. Once it's down, you need to leave it down because those little sticky bits, the actual transfer itself comes off the back, off the backing sheet or this plastic sheet and sticks to your surface. So once you've put it down, you kind of, yeah, so you need to know where exactly you're going to put it. All right, and once this comes off, I like to rub that over then with my fingers to make sure that that surface is nice and smooth there. I'll lift that up to show you how we're going so far. Here is the project so far. You can see the transfers on there. And you can just see the edges of them, but see they are sort of see-through or transparent a little bit. Okay, adding this one down here. Now I'm not sure whether to put this one in front or behind. Let's have a look again. Maybe it can just sit in front. Oh, I should have moved these guys up slightly, but that one will look fine there. And I might just add that one afterwards. Let's see how we go. So removing the backing again, the white backing. Will they all fit on the book? Yes, but I want to leave the book space there because I'm thinking of putting some words there. Okay. Watching exactly where I need to be. I want the wet flowers to come sort of in and onto the book, and that looks good to me. Now this daisy or whatever it is going to go over the top of the other one, but that's okay. Like if you had an actual bunch of flowers and you're looking at them, you can have some flowers in behind other flowers, aren't you? So just rubbing that with the tool, or like I said before, you can use a store card, something like that. Lifting up the plastic off the top now and removing it, and this is fairly easy to remove, this one. As it comes up slowly. Yeah, you can see through it for positioning, that's right. Michelle's asking, do you use chalk paint or paste? This is a fusion mineral paint, which is it's fairly matte finish, similar to chalk paint, but it has a built-in top coat. So especially for painting furniture, which is what I do, chalk paints have a porous finish, which always need a sealer, require a sealer like a wax finish or a wipe-on poly, something like that. I'm just going to turn this because my hands are awkwardly trying to remove this at the same time. And so yeah, it's just a flat matte finish paint. It does have a built-in protective coat in there. Okay. Hi Fran, thanks for joining. Nearly finished with our transfers, and then we're going to add some words for our final touches. These are gorgeous flowers, and there's some with, and I wondered whether to add a little bumblebee in here as well, but the flowers are just adorable, and they'll look great with so many of your stencil signs. I feel like an artist that I've made this sign, but I haven't done the painting. They're gorgeous watercolours. So then it just lifts off. You can sort of see through the top sheet here as to whether it's being removed or not, and so you can just see on the end here that this one hasn't lifted up. It's probably a little bit harder for you to see without me zooming right in, but I don't have a zoomer right here. Okay, oh, that's looking adorable. I do feel like it needs that third flower right here, so we'll go ahead and do that. But look how great that is looking so far. The other thing that you could use this, the book stencil for, now this is the stencil that I used. I've taped off where the flowers were going so that I could use these transfer flowers. And what was I thinking? Oh, recipes, like you could use it like a recipe book. Something else I thought of just then and now I've forgotten. Okay, beautiful. Oh, yes, it could be like a menu or something like that. This just could be a chalkboard background. You could actually change the message each week. It's kind of small for a chalkboard message type thing, but still, it'll look great with, you know, cafe menu up at the top of a big menu board. You say you've got a big chalkboard or something like that. It's a great one for that. The name of that one is Open Book. You just look up Open Book. The link is right there in the description of the live, and also as the pinned comment. So Essential Stencil has pinned those links up the top there for you. So then you can grab those and use my code IRestoreStuff and get 10% off. So I'm going to add some words here now. But look at that. And now using this set here. Now this is the tricky part that I wasn't sure how it's going to work. So you can choose or opt not to do this part if you don't think it's going to look great. Ideally, I would have liked to use two words that have got the same size font, because the ones that I chose are just a little bit slightly different. So I want to add God. I want to put God's word on here, okay, but I don't have those words. I thought, well, I could just create them out of some of the letters that Essential Stencil has. But what I do have is God and world, so I can delete the L and make that word, right? So God's word. So that is what I'm going to try and do here today, folks. And I tossed over, do I do it straight or do I do it turning, you know, with word up there? I don't know, but here we go. We're going to try it, folks. We are going to try it. Now, I did have an S here that looked about the same size as the word God. I think it's on the end of the word endures from this one. See how I just I like paste all these things together and make stuff happen. That's how we do it. Okay, so God's, and then we will need a little apostrophe. So I'll just have to make that up using probably one of our detail brushes. That would be easy enough. So Essential Stencil has these gorgeous detail or bridging brushes, so that if you have stencils, you know, we've got the little bridges there, you can fill those in with these. So let's see how this works out. I've got my two stencils here that I will need from this set, which is called It Is Finished. It's part of their Easter collection. I believe it's still available. And I'm going to use that white again. And where's my offloading cardboard? Oh, better get this all out the road. Let's just move a few things here, folks. Got my transfers we're finished with. Transfer tool finished with. Okay. Let's see if I can make this happen. First I'll need some tape, because I don't want to accidentally put the word for in here. so I'll have to move that, set that aside. It's a little bit too much. Let me see. Remove so. So you want to tape off all those little bits that are going to get in the way of your brush, because we don't want to accidentally have something on there that looks like a mistake. So I will tape off the word for in here. There we go. So we've got God, we'll put an apostrophe, and then the S from endures. So we got to tape that bit off there. And tape that word off the bottom. And this one. And then we'll have the S. I'm doing this upside down, but just for, I'm normally okay with this, but I may have to just turn it around if you don't mind. And you'll have to watch it upside down until I finish, because I just kind of want to get these words straight as I can. Okay, so God. I still haven't decided whether I was going to put God's and then word over here. I'm going to tape off the L in the middle of there before I forget. What I'll do is I'll move it. I'll tape the John 3:16 off. Tape the L here. Now what I want to do is move this. There we go. That's what I want to do, right there. And I'll add the D onto the end. Okay, so I've got the, we've made a little special stencil here, folks. All right. I think I'll put it straight. Nope, crooked. What are you're saying angle. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments. Dee says we should angle them. Jody says I could not do it upside down. It is a little tricky, I'm telling you. Yeah, I want to angle those words. Maybe I will. I could be here forever trying to sort it all out, but we'll just go for it and hope for the best. In a perfect world, we'd make it all line up correctly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead with God, and then I'll put, hang on. Yeah, because the word God is actually going to be larger than the word word. So that's okay. We'll just wing it. You can do yours differently. You can line yours all up. Get your rulers out. Okay, so we're just doing that swirling method, which we can do that because we've offloaded as much as paint as we can off the brush. So there's the word God. And then I will put an apostrophe, but we want the S in here beside it. Now the S is going to sit down low like it is for the word endures. I'm sort of trying to line that up as best I can and make that happen. Hopefully it works. Offload, and then wriggling, smushing. Just not quite enough on the brush, but it's always better to go back and get some more on the brush than have too much. And risk that bleeding underneath, so we don't want that. Okay, we've got God's, then I'll add my apostrophe in a minute, and we've got word, which we're going to angle that up as well. We've got our D there. I should have probably done the D first, so I know we've got to go over the edge there. So I'm just going to add the word D. Now this is the word world, and I'm just taking out the L. That's all I'm doing. So don't go and look for this God's word somewhere on one of the stencils, because it's not there. We've made it up. And then I'm going to go and I'm just taping right off at the end of the R, right here, so that that runs into the D, as it would if it was the word. Okay, so, oh, I can just barely see beside it. I might have to lift it for a second so I can actually see where the D is. Then I can add it. And let me get the angle right. So many things to think about. Okay, so it looks like I'm even making it a little bridge, guys. There we go. Now I can put that down and see where I'm going from here. Add a little bit more on my brush. Offload. Yes, Jennifer, absolutely. We've opened up a whole new world of things that we can do with your stencils. Absolutely. You can grab stencils, get your stash out and just play with different ones, layer them over the top of each other, get them out of their packets and play with them. So many fun things to do. It makes them so versatile when you can just think outside of the box and create. So how many have we used? We've used 2 stencils from this set. We've used the open book and the Easter frame. Okay, so we've got God's Word on here. Probably could have shifted that word a little bit further over. Let me just add this little apostrophe before I forget. Now this is where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this freehand, but yeah, we're just going to do it. Make sure I haven't got too much on there. Let's just do it. A little apostrophe right here. Okay. Whoops. That will do it. All right. Oh my goodness. I think that worked out okay. Let me turn it around for you so you can see. So there you go. We've now got God's Word open daily. I think that the gap here is a little bit too much, so I probably should have kind of moved those two closer together. But hey, you can do it better. I was just showing you the idea. And so there we have got our finished piece. Oh, how are we going for time? I think we're probably almost done, and it's ready time to pick some prize winners today for today's live. Don't forget, my code is iRestoreStuff. You can follow my blog. I'm Sharon at iRestoreStuff anywhere that you are on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest, all of the places. I hope you enjoyed that today and saw how much fun you can have with so many different things. We've got the new transfers there. We've got the Easter frame, and the open daily is from that frame. We've got the open book and transfers, and then another set to create God's Word. Isn't that awesome? I hope you enjoyed that. Congratulations to our winners today. We have got Michelle, Kimberly, and Sheila. You've been tagged as winners for our live today. So you can email support@essentialstencil.com. Let them know that you were a winner on Sharon's live today, Wednesday night. And I will see you again next week for another live DIY project. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.